Hey lovers, I'm back. I wasn't even gonna make this about me because this journey is really about everyone else. Like I'm here to learn from you guys. But then I thought, I'm like, Nikki, how are you gonna start this journey off and not start off with your own story? So we just gonna dive into it, y'all. When love aches. And I know that title sounds like traumatic and all that, but honestly, I haven't had a fun time dating. Like I haven't successfully dated yet. So I'm looking forward to hearing from everyone and hearing everybody's story, and that's something you guys don't understand what that does for me, what it's going to do for me, talking and interacting with all of you guys. But I want to start off first by saying to anyone that took the time out to stop and watch this video, thank you so much. I don't take anybody's time for granted. I'm busy. I know you guys are busy, but we're all here. So thank you in advance for everyone that even stopped to watch my video. I appreciate y'all so much. So when love aches, I just wanted to talk about a quick transition. And before I get started, this is not to bash the person I'm talking about. This is just me telling my story and telling my truth and where I was and where I'm at now. That's literally it. Because I'm just a different person now. I'm not that same broken girl I was back then. And the main reason why I'm telling my story, y'all, is because it's too heavy to keep in. Understand, when you tell your story, when you speak your truth, you are free. I'm tired of being weighed down by stuff I can't control. And I know speaking about it out loud will inspire somebody else as well. So that's why I did it. But it's too heavy for me to carry, and I don't want to carry it anymore. So the biggest I've ever been in my life was 250 pounds, right? That's the biggest I've ever been. And the only reason why I'm explaining this is because if you follow me on my socials, you know I'm very open and honest about everything. But I've not spoken about this because I just wasn't ready. It's real traumatizing to me, right? So, I'm down 40 pounds and I feel amazing. And this is the most clarity I've ever had in my life, right? So I'm down 40 pounds now, but I'd be so flawed to sit here and talk about this weight loss journey and not talk about how I gained the weight. And how I gained the weight relates to Lover's Madness. So stay with me, this all plays together, right? Because we all know Lover's Madness is all things love. So, okay, how did I gain the weight? Okay. I was in a relationship for 4 years, right? I was in a relationship, and remember, this is 5-6 years ago. So, the details, you still remember it like it was yesterday because the pain is something you'll always remember at any point, right? So I was in a relationship for 5 years, and I was in those type of relationships where we used to go out and hang out a lot. So people knew us, and every time I go out and someone didn't see him, they would ask yo, where he at? What y'all doing, right? So we were in a relationship for 5 years. We barely ever fought. And I know every time I say that, everyone rolls their eyes. But when I tell y'all we didn't fight, I thought that we were good. I thought that we were good. And I thought even if we did fight, we were cool enough to talk about it and get over it and not go to sleep mad and all of that. So the reason why this situation was so traumatic to me is because the way that it happened, I didn't expect it to happen, right? So I was in a relationship with this guy for 4 years, right? Up out of nowhere, he just ghosted me. I'm talking about up and never heard from him again. It's probably 6-7 years now to this day. He has not reached out to me. He's just gone. He's gone, And I did find out that he had a baby. And you know how you do your research and do all this. So you see that, he's out here living his best life. And when I first saw that he had a child with somebody else, of course, my heart dropped, and I felt I felt played. I'm not gonna lie, I felt played. I remember standing in the street, I just dropped to my knees and I just screamed because I didn't know where he was. I thought something bad happened to him, and he just wanted to be away from me. He just was gone. He did his thing, and he didn't even feel like he had to come home and clear it up. He was good where he was at type of vibe. So I don't wish that type of situation on nobody, because I want you guys to really understand. And that's really all I'm gonna say about that situation. I just really wanted to tell you guys the bulk reason, right? So he ghosted me. And remember, I still haven't heard from him till this day. That was maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. It was a long time ago, right? But imagine if I still waited. I was waiting for him. Even after I found out that he had a baby, I was still waiting for him to come back and tell me this is what I did, you know? And I was kind of sad that he didn't even give me a choice. I'm not saying I would have took him back. I'm just saying, like, he didn't even come home and be like, yo, this is what I did. Because if you're going to go out there and do it, you can at least go out there. I just felt like I was owed an explanation. I felt like I was owed an apology. And do you know how that feels to feel like you're owed something and never get it? Do you know the type of built up rage that puts in a person? Hey, I don't wish that on nobody, because I literally had to get over this situation by myself. I've been in some situations that were terrible, but when it's over, it's a mutual feeling. Like when it's done, you know, you can cry, get over it, talk to somebody else. But imagine you waiting for somebody that never came back, ever. And imagine how big I would have been now if I still waited for him to come back. So how did I gain the weight? Let me tell y'all. Chunky Monkey was my favorite ice cream. I still have like a little weird relationship with it because I had it like a month ago, but every time I eat it, I just think about how I used to eat the Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkeys. I ate 3 to 4 of those a week, okay? And you know those are not small tubs. You shouldn't be able to just chug that in one setting. I literally used to get 3 or 4 of those a week and eat them and tear them up like it was nothing. Nothing. So every time I see that, ice cream is kind of like a trigger to me, but it's so good, so sometimes I still flirt around and eat a little bit of it. But I used to eat 4 of those. Y'all, I remember I was on the phone with my best friend, and we were on the phone talking, and I was walking outside, and she asked me, she's like, Nikki, are you all right? You sound like you can't breathe. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I look down at my feet are swollen, and I realized that when I was talking to her, I started wheezing. Y'all, I've had asthma when I was little, but I haven't had asthma in so long. I had so much weight on me, I couldn't breathe. I've never even had children. Why are my ankles swollen from walking down the street? So that's when I realized, like, damn, Nikki, like, you're losing it. Like, you really are losing it. So I went ghost too. He ghosted me and I ghosted everybody else. I couldn't believe, like, I was so sad because I couldn't believe something like that happened to me. I couldn't believe that I laid up with somebody for 4 years and didn't know that that's the type of person that he was. Like, what was I doing for 4 years, just wrapped up in him, not doing my homework, not doing my research, just like, he just had me how he wanted me. And I was just embarrassed because when I tell y'all, like, if I didn't go through that and someone told me this, I would have been like, girl, I would have never dealt with that. Like, I would have been saw the signs, I would have been left, I would have cleared it. And it's just like, I'm embarrassed. And I don't get embarrassed a lot, but I'm embarrassed that I was that girl who allowed a man to allow her to lose herself and hit rock bottom like that, to where she doesn't even know who she's looking at in the mirror. You just wake up one day and you're like, who is this person? Like, this is not me. Like, I am better than this. Like, I know better than this. Like, I thought I loved myself better than this, and I was beating myself up because I was like, dang, like, he must be really happy where he's at if he didn't even come home and tell me that, you know, I at least thought he would have came home and been like, oh, listen, I met somebody else and I'm rocking with her and I just want to be with her. Because I can accept if I'm not that bitch. I can accept if I'm not that bitch. I just couldn't accept the cold way that he vanished like that. Like, no call, no trace, no nothing. When I tell you I haven't spoke to that man since he ghosted me. And the traumatizing part was the last time I spoke to him, we were on the phone and he told me, I love you, I'll see you when we get home. You got on that phone and told me you love me and you'll see me when you get home, when you had no intention on coming back. So the intent, it's just the intent for me, okay? Like, you knew that that was the last time that I was ever going to hear your voice and see your face. And you knew, like, it was done for you. That was your way out. And for me, it wasn't like that. Like, I went through every emotion in that situation. Like, I was sad, I was depressed, I was hurt. Like, I really let a man break me down to nothing. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. And it's embarrassing because I never thought that I was that girl. I thought that I loved me more than that, okay? I thought that I loved me more than that. So you're low self-esteem, now you're depressed, now I'm fat, now I can't breathe, now my ankles are swollen, I still have to go out here and work, I still have to go out here and hope I don't run into anybody that used to know the old Nikki, because this Nikki is definitely not her, okay? And then I stopped going out because when I did go out, everyone would ask me where he's at, and I was so embarrassed because I didn't even know. How you in a relationship and you don't know where your partner's at? So I just caved myself in the house and I just ate. And I didn't want to do nothing but eat, sleep, cry, be angry, and feel sorry for myself. That's all I wanted to do. And I did just that. And that ruined me. Do you know what that did to my self-esteem? Do you know what that did to my confidence to watch myself just keep gaining weight and gaining weight and gaining weight and not putting a stop to it? So that's what I'm telling y'all, like that healing process, it's no joke. And I will never again expect anything from anybody as far as an apology. Don't nobody owe you no apology. You better get that closure yourself. Knowing that you don't have to deal with that, that's all the closure you need. Okay? I was literally waiting for him to come knock on my door and be like, Nikki, I am sorry. I want you back. I don't even love her. Like, it was just a sex thing. He didn't do none of that. Do y'all understand how this situation humbled me so bad? I'm talking about, it still blows my mind to this day that I laid up with somebody who could up and leave me in the blink of an eye with no explanation. That's who I said I loved. That's who I introduced to my family and friends. That's who I fell out with people for? No ma'am, no sir. That is when love aches. So that situation literally traumatized me, y'all. Literally traumatized me. And I'm still trying to navigate and date and do all these things. And let me tell y'all something. I forgave him years ago. Not because he deserved it. Not because he needed it, but because I needed peace. Okay? I needed peace. I was tired of being angry. I was tired of being this broken girl. I was tired of being miserable. Like, I deserve real love, true love, genuine love too. And I'm not going to find that if I'm just stuck in my room crying, eating, feeling sad and depressed for myself all damn day. I'm not going to find it. I'm not going to find it. Okay? So, shit, that's when love aches. That traumatized me. And that may not be a big deal to y'all, but listen, I'm very big on mutual things. And when I didn't get that closure, and that was the first time I ever had to scrape up closure for myself, and I almost couldn't give it to myself because I didn't want to forgive him because I felt like he didn't deserve it. And I was waiting to run into him so I could punch him in the face. Like, I had all these emotions. I had all these emotions going on, right? But one day I really had to sit down and be like, no, Nikki, you're going to forgive him right here, right now, because you deserve peace and you deserve freedom and you deserve true love. And you deserve someone that wants to be around you and not run away from you. Okay? So, oh, sorry, my nose is so itchy. So yeah, like, that's my tragic love story. And I know that may not sound like a big deal to some of y'all, but that was so traumatic to me. Like, I felt like I was in a movie. Like, what do you mean you just never came back? Like, you literally just never came back. You did what you wanted to do and you moved on with your life. And I had to sit here and put mine back together. And at this point in my life, it's literally called accountability. Because I can blame him for what he did, but I have to be honest and real with myself about why I didn't love myself enough. Because the Nikki now loves herself way too much to deal with any of that. The Nikki now is not chasing anybody. The Nikki now knows what I bring to the table. I know I am my true self now. So I know that if I'm not compatible with somebody, or if our intentions don't line up for each other, it's not even going to be this whole dramatic thing moving forward. You know, we just don't align, and I'm okay with that because I want to be with somebody I truly and genuinely align with. And you just know when you know what that feels like. So that's when love aches, y'all. I know I said that like 3 times, but when love aches. And I know love is not that hard, and I know it's not that complicated. And when you find your person and when you click with that person, you're just gonna know, you know. The problem is we just don't want to be alone, and while we're trying to find that person, we're just clinging on to temporary feelings and moments and settling for right now, because right now you want to feel something and you don't want to work on yourself and get yourself together and wait for that thing that you know you need later. So yeah, that's my little love spill, y'all. Like I said, I'm trying to figure it out. And thank you for hearing my story, right? And to anybody that has anything to contribute to this love conversation, hit me up. I can't wait to interview you and tell your story. This is for everybody. People in relationships, single, old, I don't care what kind of relationship you're in. This is a journey, and we're all going to learn and find this love thing together, because I don't got it all figured out, but I mean, who doesn't want to be in a relationship? Who doesn't want to be in love? Nobody wants to be by themselves, but I just need to do it right. So I can't wait to talk to you guys. I can't wait to meet you guys. I can't wait to hear your story. I can't wait to cry with you guys. Like, I'm so excited. Thank you for watching my video. And if you found this helpful or if you liked it, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for listening, y'all. When love aches.